Okay, so let's have a quick recap what we have discussed in the last session. In the last session, we have discussed about how to create Azure account, and then we have discussed about source group and what is virtual machine. In today's session, we are going to practically start about how to create a virtual machine in our Azure account. But before starting on this topic, any question anyone have? Please raise your hand. Anyone have any question? Okay. Look like no one has any questions. So let's start creating our virtual machine. So create virtual machine. The source group we already have from the previous session, which we have created. I already have it. So I'm going to use the same resource group. Now we need to give the name of our virtual machine. So I'll give the name VM-4 for it. You can give any name. Name doesn't matter what name you are giving it. You can give any name here. Now, the next thing what we have to do it is we have to select the operating system. Which operating system we are going to use to create this virtual machine. By default, it is giving me Ubuntu. So I'm going for the Ubuntu one. And we have discussed in previous session, in our general language, we call it operating system. In Azure, we call it as a image. So here we are selecting the image Ubuntu 24.04 version. They have some more version also, 22 also. They have more versions also. They have other also. So whichever as per our client requirement we have, we can select that particular image. Now, so once we select the operating system, we have to select CPU and RAM. And CPU and RAM is always coming under a combination. So right now I don't have much requirement. Right now we have a very basic requirement. So what we can do it is we can give only one CPU and 1 GB of RAM. I know this is very low, but for our machine, just for practice purpose, this is sufficient for us. Here it is. So by default, we have a size called standard underscore B1S, the name of the size. There we are getting one CPU and 1 GB of the RAM. And in previous session, when I'm showing you the free tiers, that time I have given you the names of virtual machine sizes. There it is mentioned as B1S also. Let me show you again there. Okay, scroll down. See all free services. Twelve months free. Under 12 months free. Here I'm getting compute Linux. Here they have mentioned these are sizes actually. B1S, B2 PTS, B2 ATS, V2. These are the size which is coming under our free tier. Other than these sizes, if you're going to use it, they're going to charge us. For first 30 days, you can do anything till the time you're under the $200 credit. But once you move to the 12 months free tier, you have to use these types. So by default, in my account, it is using B1S. So I'm using. So here I'm getting some more sizes also. So one CPU 3.5 GB of RAM, two CPU 16 GB of RAM. We have a lot. We can see, click on see all size, you will see all this. They have a bigger also. 128 GB of RAM, some like this also you will find it here. But definitely if you're selecting those, it will cost you more also. So select this one and now scroll down. Now here we have authentication type. Authentication type is how you want to connect to this machine. There are two ways to connect to this machine. One is by using password, other one is by using SSH key. So right now we are going to go for the password option. Then we can learn about SSH key also. So select password. Now here we have to give the username and then password. Now for password, there are some rules we have to follow. Your password must at least minimum 12 and maximum 123 characters long. And when you're giving the password, you have to, out of four of the following things, you have to follow three things. One upper, one lower, means one number, and one special correct. So out of these four of the following things, you have to use three minimum. So let's give the username. This is the username I'm giving. And now I'm giving the password also. Yeah. So I'm able to give the password also. Yes, Venkat, you have raised your hand. Do you have any question? Venkat, look like you have some issue with your mic. System is not allowing me to give you the permission. You have some issue with your mic. Please drop your question in the chat box. You have some issue with your mic. Okay, so here we have given the username and the password. Now, is just creation of our machine is done? No, we have to connect to this machine. And if we want to connect to this machine, there are some more mandatory things we have to do. What? We have to enable a port number called SSH port. Why? Why we have to enable this? Because it is mandatory to enable if you want to connect to this Linux machine. If you want to connect to this Linux machine by using your local machine, it is mandatory to enable this port number. If you are not going to enable this port number, then you can't connect to this machine. Venkat, that's what just I said few minutes before. There are two options to create Linux machine. One is password, one is SSH key. Right now we are learning about password. After once we learn about password, we are going to learn about SSH key. So here I'm selecting password option. There are two options. I select password option. SSH key one, we are going to learn it. We didn't learn any SSH key option till now. So please bear with me. I will definitely teach in few minutes. And I have a request, don't practice when I'm teaching it. This might be if I'm teaching you the topic and if you miss that part, or might be that particular point will be an interview question, so you will not able to clear the interview. So that's my request. So when I'm teaching you, don't practice parallelly. You get the recordings, you can do that. And in yesterday's session, we didn't do anything about SSH key. We didn't learn anything about SSH key yesterday session. So we just discussed about how to create Azure account and what is virtual machine. That's what we have discussed. What is virtual machine? That's what we have discussed and how to create a resource group. That was a small part we have learned in the yesterday session. For sending screenshots, I have given my email addresses. I have already given my email. So if you have any doubts, you have to email me. Don't practice parallelly. Okay. So here we have given username and the password. Now scroll down. Now if you see here, by default, they have already enabled the SSH port. How system know they have to enable SSH port? Because of the image we have selected. So they have and automatically enable SSH port because we have selected the Ubuntu image. Now I have a question. If you know the answer, you can still answer in chat box. Question is, what is the port number for SSH? Can you answer in the chat box? Right. So whatever the answers I got in the chat box, all are correct. The port number is 22 for SSH. And if I scroll down, if you see here with SSH in the bracket, they have by default mentioned the port number. So SSH is the port number for Linux, and it is mandatory to enable if you want to connect to this machine by using your Windows machine. Now let's just have a quick recap here what we have did it. So we have selected a resource group which we have created in the yesterday session. Then we have given the name. Then we have selected the image, Ubuntu 1, Ubuntu Server 24.04. Then we have selected the size where we are getting 1 CPU and 1 GB of RAM. And then we have selected password option and we have given our username and password. And here we have given it the port number, which is automatically enabled by the system, which is SSH port number. Now click on next. Ignore. Now in the next, what we have it, we have a disk option here. Disk, what is disk? Hard disk. The hard disk which we have it, generally we call it in Azure, it is called as disk. And in Azure, there are two types of disk also we have. One is called OS disk and other one is called as data disk. OS disk is the journal. By default, we are getting like a C drive. That's OS disk. If you want to add additional disk, those are called as data disk in our Azure. And by default, they are giving the size of 30 GB. 30 GB is they are giving it, and that's coming under our free tier. We have 32 GB, 64. We can give till 2 terabyte also here. For OS disk, this is for OS disk. But for data disk, you can go for the maximum 65,536 GB you can for data disk. But for OS disk, maximum 2 terabyte we can go for. And by default, they are giving us 30 GB. So we will only go for the 30 GB here. Now click on Review Plus Create. Now when I click on Review Plus Create, they are validating our records. So whatever the data details we have given it, are they correct? Sometimes what happened in Azure, very rarely it happens. It happened with me also earlier. When we click on Review Plus Create, even we have given the correct details, their validation has been failed. Sometimes it's happened. So if might be it happened with you, what you can do it is just go back to any of the tab, then come again to Review Plus Create. They are again going to validate, and then the validation will be passed. Again validating, done, validation passed. Now click on Create. Now system is start creating our machine. So till the time system is creating our machine, any question anyone have, please raise your hand. Yes, Nitanjali, you can.
Hi, there was an option trusted launch. I think I probably missed it because I joined a little late. Can you please explain that?
Just
What was that option?
Tanjali, this is actually not a Azure admin training. In DevOps training, you're
No,
just learning only basics
okay,
of virtual machine. So here I'm just only teaching you those options which are actually required just to create a machine. And which
okay,
option you're talking
understood.
about? Trusted
In
option?
security options,
Trusted security type.
security type.
But don't worry about this. Is not a part of Azure DevOps training, so you don't have to worry about that. So
Got
you don't need to worry about it. For DevOps part, it's not required. We have to just need to learn about how to create a machine. That's it. Don't worry about that.
got it. Thank you.
Anyone have any more question? Yes, Amol, you can.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Uh, in the virtual machine, I saw zone. What is that zone?
That's
Zone one.
called availability zones. We will explain that in few minutes. That I'm going to explain it because that's a basic journal thing of cloud.
Okay.
I'll explain in a few minutes. Once we complete this, then I can explain that.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Ankit.
Okay, so our machine is ready. Now what we have to do it is, we have to connect to this machine. So how we can connect to this machine? To connect to this machine, we need a terminal. We need a terminal. Terminal means like a software we need to connect to this machine. So which software we can use it? There are thousands of terminals. We have it in market, but the one which I'm going to use it is, okay, it's not mentioned here, is called Git Bash. This one. So click here. Now, whichever the operating system you are using, you have to go to that particular operating system and then you have to download the file. As per your own system requirement, you have to download the file. So just click here. Save this file. Here it is. Now to install this, you have to double click on it. Just click on next and install. I'm not going to do it right now. If I start doing it, it will take 10-15 minutes to install. Because if you already have in your system, what happens is they are going to first uninstall it, the old version, and then they are going to update the new version. So it's very easy to install. Double click, wait for a few minutes, then just click on next and click on install. It will install the Git Bash. Now, how you can open the Git Bash? Open your folder, right click, and here you are getting Git Bash. But this is for Windows 10. I'm using Windows 10. If you are using Windows 11, in Windows 11, you will not find Git Bash here like this. In that case, you have to search Git Bash here. So once you install Git Bash, in Windows 11, you have to search from this search bar. In Windows 10, you will, while you right click, you will get here. Done. So we are able to open the Git Bash. Now we have to use this command. Username @public IP. So whenever we are creating our machine, system is giving one public IP address to us. So click on your machine. We are getting public IP. Copy, paste, enter. Type as yes. Now enter your password. Okay. We are able to connect to our Linux virtual machine. So this is how we can connect to our Linux virtual machine. There is one more terminal we have in market which is called as Putty. That also we are going to learn in our upcoming session how to connect to our Linux machine using Putty. So right now I'm showing you by using Git Bash. in upcoming session, we will learn about how to connect Linux machine by using putty also. Because putty and git bash, these are very popular terminals we have in market. Number one is putty. Number two is git bash. Git bash is required in our training because in our upcoming session, when we are going to learn about some git bash, git tool, github.com. So we need git bash in our machine. So you have to install it. This one, it is mandatory to install. So please install it in your machines when you're going to start practice. For this practice purpose, you need to have your personal laptops. I'm not sure these things will work in your company laptop or not because it purely depends on the restrictions of your company. So it will work. So there is no guarantee from my side it will work in your company laptop or not. Okay. So any question anyone have, please let me know. Then I'm going to discuss about what is availability zones. Anyone have any question, please raise your hand first if you have any question. Okay, no question. Now what is availability zones? To create one single region, like which region we are using right now? We have used Central India region. To make one single region. Now the points which I'm going to discuss right now, these points are not just for Azure. These points are common for all the cloud platform which we have in market. We have AWS, we have Azure, we have Google Cloud. These points, availability zones, are common for all the cloud platform because all these cloud platform are using same rules and regulations. It's not mandatory, but this is what they are following it to give the better connectivity to their customer, to secure their customer data. Now, to make one single region, like Central India is one single region, to make one single region, what all the cloud platforms are doing it is they make 3 data centers. Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3. Minimum 3 data centers they make, and then those 3 data centers will become one single region. Like here we have a region called Central India. So to make this region, they have make 3 data centers. And yes, those 3 data center definitely it will not in a single building. It is always in a different buildings. Might be it can be in the same city also. Might be it can be in different cities also, or it can be different states also. It is possible they can do that, but most of the companies are using the same cities, but it is using the different corners of the cities. It is not in the same building or it's not nearby. It's little far away from one location to another location. But why they are using 3 data centers, then they make a single region? Because might be disaster will come, might be some electricity issue, any earthquake came or any other things happen. So if one single availability zone is down, they have a other availability zone who run that particular region. If second is also down, they have a still third also. So minimum 3 they're always making. Yes, some of the regions can have more than 3 also, depend on the load they have it. Azure don't have any region which is having more than 3 availability zones. So they have only 3, but they have more regions. But if I talk about AWS, AWS has some regions which is having 4 availability zone also, and even they have a one region which has 7 availability zones also. Depend on the load they are getting on that particular region, or how much load they want on that particular region. That's why they are adding more availability zones also. So to make one single region, they always creating 3 regions three data centers, and then it become a single region. So this is what we have about availability zone. Now, any question anyone have related to this, please let me know. Yes, Maheshwar. Yes, Maheshwar, you can unmute yourself. You have already unmuted. Now you can ask your question. Maheshwar, you can ask your question. Yes, Maheshwar, you can unmute. You can ask your question. You are still on mute. You have to unmute yourself now. Yes, all three data centers are always in sync, and always they have a backup of every single data center with each other. They all are in sync.
Hello,
Yes, Maheshwar.
I'm audible now.
Yes. Yes, Maheshwar, I'm able to hear you.
Hello.
Maheshwar, I'm able to hear you. You can ask your question.
Hello.
Yes, Maheshwar, I'm able to hear you. I can ask your question. Maheshwar, are you able to hear me? Maheshwar, are you there? Okay. Anyone have any more question? No questions. Okay, now let's go to resource group. Go to resource group. Here is one resource group, and here is one resource group which system is automatically creating. Network Watcher RG. What is this Network Watcher? Network Watcher is actually used to monitor our virtual machine, virtual network. Whenever we create a virtual machine, there are some more things system is creating. There is one thing system is automatically also creating is virtual network. To monitor that virtual network, the traffic coming to our virtual network, that is what monitored by a service called Network Watcher in Azure. So here I'm going to click on this virtual machine. Here it is. So not just virtual machine, here we have some more things: public IP, NSG, virtual network, network interface, and here we are getting the disk also. The disk, the OS disk which they have created. If you want to see here, here also I can see under settings, here we have a disk. The link to our machine. So that's what we have discussed in previous session. In one resource group, we can create multiple resources, and it can be different type of resources also we can create in a single resource group. You can see here we have a different types. Now we are okay. One more thing. In some of my PPTs, you will get some self-learning links. Not in every PPT. In some of the PPTs, in the last of the page, you will get some link also. most of the links are videos. Some of links are documents also. But not in every PPT. In some of the PPTs, you will find links. If you got these links, like here in this PPT, we have some link. Whenever you get a chance, you can watch these videos or read those documents. It's not mandatory. You have to learn it right now. Whenever you have a free time, that time you can check these things. But even after completion of the course, you want to check, you can check that. But make sure you check once. So this is just for some extra knowledge links I'm providing. And these things are not part of the course content. These things, whichever the extra links which I'm giving you, it is not mentioned anywhere in the course content. So just some extra knowledge links you will get in these documents. Now we are going to learn about how to create a Linux machine by using SSH key. But before that, we have to understand what is SSH key. SSH key is the combination of two keys. One is called as public key and other one is called as private key. Public key is going to store by the cloud platform, and private key is going to store in our local machine. Platform means it is going to store by the Azure. Local machine means it is going to store in our laptop. So system is going to generate two keys. One Azure will take care, one we have to take care. And when we want to connect to this machine, then from our side, we have to provide private key and Azure is going to provide public key. Now let's take example, there's a one box we have, there's a locker we have to open that locker. And for that particular locker, they have two keys. One key is with you, one key is with you guys, one key is with me. One key you are going to put, one key I'm going to put. So if you're not going to put both the keys, this box is not going to open. That's what here it is. From our side, we have to provide private key and Azure is going to provide public key. So once both the keys are going to link, then only we can connect this machine. And to download this private key, there is only one single chance we will get. There is no multiple chances we will get to download the private key. Now, so let's create a machine now. So go to virtual machine. Now here most of these steps are same. The only difference is earlier we have used password, now we are using SSH key. That's the only difference. All other steps are same. Same image, same size, same port number. Same image, same size, and same port number SSH. Now here it is. SSH public key. By default, a username is Azure user. We'll go for the same username. And here they are generating the new key pair. Now, do we have any existing key pair? Do you have any existing public key? No, we don't have any. So we are always generating a new key because we don't have any existing key. If we have existing key, we can use existing key also to create this machine. Use this one. And here also we have to use RSA SSH format. It is not supporting, right? It's not supporting anymore, this format. So just leave this format. Earlier this was a format, but it is not supporting anymore. So we have to go for this new formatting which we are getting. And you don't have to worry about what are these formats. Just leave that one for now. And this is the name of my SSH key. It can be any name. You want to change the name, you can change. By default, they are using the name of my machine, the name which I've given it, underscore key. So this is the name we are using, and here we have a port number SSH. Other details are same which we have used in the previous one. 24.04, size B1S, and SSH port number. Click on next. Ignore. OS disk. Here we are. Now click on review plus create. Validation passed. Unable to retrieve price and legal. It's okay. Let's do one thing. Let's go back. Review plus create. They are not able to fetch some details, so we are doing again. Still not okay. Let's just click on create. Now, when I click on create, there is one pop-up is going to come here now. Now, please read this. SSH key pair contains both a public key and a private key. Azure doesn't store the private key. After the SSH key resource is created, you won't able to download the private key again. That's what I told you. There is only one single chance you will get to download the private key. So always we have to make sure we are keeping the multiple backup of this key. Once I click on download private key and create resource, there is no option without downloading of this key pair I can create a machine. I have to click on download private key and create resource. Other option is return to create a machine. If I click on return, it will go back to my machine. But if I click on download private key and create resource, they start creating this machine and then they will download the key. There is no option we have without downloading of this key pair I can create a machine if I'm using SSH key option. They will download the key pair. Info for it, save. Here I got. So here we are able to get that particular file. Now here the file, what is the extension of this file? PEM. PEM full form is Privacy Enhanced Mail. That's the full form of PEM type of file. Now with this file, we can connect to our machine. Now, how to connect to this machine? Here are the given the steps. So we are downloading the key pair. Now go to your virtual machine. Once our machine is ready, we have to wait here. Okay, before this, any question anyone have, please raise your hand. Yes, Venkat. Venkat, you still not able to unmute. Please make sure before tomorrow's session you resolve this issue. You can drop your question in the chat box now. Anyone have any question? So please raise your hand if you have a question. How I know that you have a question? You have to raise your hand. Yes, Shiv Pandey, you can unmute. Yes, Shepard, you can ask your question. Yes, Shiv, you can ask your question.
Yeah, first time actually I'm seeing this web page, Azure, Microsoft Azure create VM canonical Ubuntu this server. So how you have created this one on Azure?
Sorry, I didn't understand your question. Can you please repeat your question again?
I'm saying first time I'm just seeing this web page, Microsoft Azure web page.
Okay, so what is your
What
question here?
Am I audible?
Yes, I'm able to hear you. What is your question? You said you are able to see first time this page because you are
Yeah,
learning first time. That's why you are able to see first time.
yeah. So I don't
Okay.
understand from where we will get this Azure, Microsoft Azure web page.
This web page, you have
Yeah,
to
I mean,
log in it. You have to go to the portal.azure.com. Then you have to click
okay.
on virtual machine. You have to click on create virtual machine. You have to follow the steps. That's what I'm teaching here to how to create virtual machines.
Okay. Yeah, now I got
That's
it.
what I'm teaching you how to create. What are the steps you have to follow to create virtual machine? That's a part of this training I'm teaching you. Did you understand what are the steps I'm following?
Yes. Actually, first time I'm seeing this web page. I'm unaware of this. I mean, is how to create the VM
So,
on Azure
so
website.
this is okay. I have a question to you. Did you learn for earlier also something like in Azure or not?
No.
So if you're learning first time, so definitely you're going to see first time.
Yeah.
So for everything, whenever you're going to learn something new, that's the first time for everyone. All our the students are there sitting in this training. For everyone, it is new. So that's why we all are here to learn those things. Okay, so definitely if you're this is not just this is one thing. You will see hundreds of things new in this training. So everything is new for you because you don't know those things. That's why you join the training to learn. Am I right?
Yeah.
So definitely you will learn it slowly, everything. I know that it's not magic. You will not learn everything in one single minute or day. That's why we are providing you recordings. You have to watch those recordings and you have to practice those things. Without practice, you will not learn. Don't think that you will just sit in the training or watch the videos, you will learn. No. You have to practice also whatever I'm teaching you. Without practice, you will not remember anything.
So while creating the VM on Microsoft Azure, we have to pay some amount, and 439 apps seem that somewhere estimated.
No, you are getting free tier also. In yesterday's session, we have discussed that point. What are the free tier quota you are getting it? You are getting some $200 credit, US dollars credit. You are getting it for first 30 days, and then after 30 days, you will getting 12 months free tier quota also from their side. We have discussed that particular point. I don't know you were in the yesterday's session or not. If you are not there, so please watch that recording. The particular recording is already shared in the WhatsApp community of this batch 448.
Actually,
Are
5
you in the
months back,
WhatsApp?
and your
Are,
web.
are you in the WhatsApp community of this batch 448?
Yes.
So please watch the recording if you haven't watched that recording. We have discussed that particular point in yesterday's session. They will not charge you. It is showing the amount, but they will not charge you. Okay.
Okay.
Any more question?
So we can use unlimited resources, right? For example,
No. We
VM,
have
right?
discussed the limitations also in yesterday's session. What are the limitations you have? We have discussed that point also. No, for first 30 days, you cannot use unlimited. You have a limitation of $200 credit. You have to use under that credit. After that 12 months, if you move to 12 months, then also you have a per month quota, not unlimited. Limitations are there.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm telling you. Watch the yesterday session recording. You will understand.
Okay.
If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the upcoming sessions.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay, so our machine is ready. Now we need to connect to this machine. So to connect to this machine, I'm selecting this machine and then I'm going to click on connect. Click on connect again. Now here we got this command. We have to copy this command and note down. In this command, we have to make one change here now. What change we have to do it is, here we have to provide the name of our temp file. So what is the name of my temp file? Here is the file name. .pem. This is what we have to provide. Now open the git bash. Now here the git bash, we have to open it. I'm opening here. But there is one important point here. The important point is the path which we are able to see here, the path needs to be same where we have stored our temp file. If your location is different here and your temp file location is different, you can't connect to that machine. The location needs to be there. So that's why you have to open that folder, right click, git bash here. But if you are using Windows 11, then you will search from here, git bash. So in that case, if I search from here, here location is different. So how you can move to this particular location? So copy that path where you are storing your temp file, type a command called cd. Cd stands for change directory, and then paste the path. Oops, they are not able to go there. Just a minute. Okay, this I don't okay where it is. Need to check. Okay, so we have to first not okay, so we have to go to desktop, CD desktop. Okay, so this is users going. So CD, it is storing in the desktop actually. So CD desktop, then ls, and then we have to go to batch 448. So CD batch 448 ls. So here I'm in that folder. So by using cd command, I'm moving in that folder. So first I go to cd desktop and then I go to cd that particular folder. Here we are. Now we need to run this command. Enter. Are you sure? Yes. We are able to connect to our Linux machine by using SSH key. In organization, we are very carefully, we are not going to lose this key. So in organization, we are always going to keep the multiple copies of this temp file. You can store in your email, in your Google Drive, in OneDrive, in SharePoint, wherever you have access in organization, you can store that particular key anywhere. So if might be you will lose this key, you still have a backup of this key. You can get that particular key from that backup, because Azure is not going to give you more chances to download this key. There is only one single chance they have. So this is what we have about how to create a Linux machine by using SSH key. Now, any question anyone have, please let me know. Then I'm going to show you how to delete these resources once you complete your practice. Yes, Revati, you can unmute. Yes, Revati, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Revati, you're still on mute.
Hello?
Yes, you can ask your question now.
Yeah. So, I mean, in the private key name, I can see that it is given as same as a virtual machine name only. So,
Yes,
will it be the same every time?
that's what I told. What are the name I have given to my machine? By default, Azure is giving the same name to the machine. The machine name underscore key. That's a default name they are using. You want to change, you can change it. That doesn't matter. That's not important. You can change the name. By
Okay.
default, they are using the name of the virtual machine underscore key. If you want to change, you can change. It doesn't matter if you change that. Is it clear?
No,
Or
my
still
question is the private key which we are getting. So, that is having the same name as a virtual machine which we have created. So, will it be
Yes,
the same in every case? So,
that's
in
what
that
I'm
case,
giving answer.
just
Yes,
the name, right?
that's what I'm saying. By default, Azure is using the same name underscore key. What was the name of machine? VM-448-SSH. VM-448-SS underscore key. That's a default name they are using. The name of your machine, this is the name of my machine, underscore key. That's a default name is used by the Azure. If you want to change, you can change it. It doesn't matter if you change that.
Okay.
That's a default format Azure is using.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anyone have any more question? Okay. Now, once we complete our practice, we have to make sure we delete everything. In previous session, when we were discussing about resource group, I told you one thing about resource group is a resource group is a centralized location where we can see everything, whatever we have created. So I'm going to click on my resource group. I can see here everything. And to delete everything, there are two ways. One is I can go to this single service one by one and I can delete. So how many we have right now? Resources here. We have 12 resources they are mentioning here. We have 12 resources. So it means you have to delete these 12 resources one by one. That's a long time system is going to take. That's one option. You can delete in one by one. But for your practice purpose, there is one shortcut we have. It is you can delete this resource. If you delete this resource group, whatever is this resource group we have, everything is going to delete. So this is a best practice. Delete your resource group. System will delete everything. But there is one important point here. Now I'm trying to delete a resource group here. Now, once we click on delete, don't close your browser. If you close your browser, system will stop there. System, the deletion process which is going on, that process will stop there. Till that time, you are not getting a proper notification deleted. Don't close your browsers. If you close, the process will stop there. You have your resources as it is. Let me delete the other one. So the other one which they are by default creating network watcher RG, we have to delete this one also. Okay, so now copy the resource group name, paste here, click on delete. Delete. Now if I close the browser here, the process is going to stop here. It's not showing, now it starts deleting. So once we got the deleted notification for both the resource group, then only we can close the browser. Lot of new people do this mistake in my previous batches. So I'm telling you, don't do that mistake. Don't close the browser till that time you don't have a proper notification. Delete it. Paste the resource group name, delete. So they are going to delete all 12 resources also. Now, once it will take 5-7 minutes, then after that I can close the browser. Now, any question anyone have, please let me know. Yes, Venkat, you can unmute. We can try to unmute.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Cool. Just I changed my browser from Chrome to another one. It got worked.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So just you are.
Oh, sorry. I removed the chance of muting yourself. Okay, you can unmute again. Sorry. Venkat, you can unmute again. Sorry.
Yeah, just you are deleting the resources to save the like
Free tier.
Yeah. Yep.
We have to make sure we delete it after our practice.
Yep. Thank you. Actually, initially, what I'm trying to say is when I am doing the yesterday steps practice, right? When I got the username and when I got the OTP to my email ID, just I'm getting the screen like SSH pairing or something like that. I'm not getting that Azure portal into it. Actually, that is the problem.
SSH,
Yeah.
where you're trying
Yeah.
to create your Azure account that time.
Yeah, it is asking me to switch on the Bluetooth for pairing and all those extra steps. I don't know
That
what
is
exactly.
for your system to connect to your account. So when you want to, how you want to connect to your account, you are going to link your Microsoft with your mobile. You can do that one also. That's what this is not a mandate. You can skip that step. You don't have to link with your mobile also. Even nowadays, you're trying to log in your Gmail also. With Gmail also, they start doing those things. You can link with your Bluetooth. Your Bluetooth can be connected to your system to give more security to your systems. That is actually called as MFA, multiple factor authentication, multi-factor authentication. Even like when you're trying to log into your bank account, after giving password, they'll ask for an OTP. That is also MFA. So that's what they start doing it nowadays.
Okay, got you. Makes sense. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, anyone have any question, or we can end this session here. In tomorrow's session, we are going to start learning about some of the basic Linux commands. So that's we are going to start because it is mandatory to have a basic knowledge of Linux. And in this PPT, the PPT number 5, I'm not going to upload today because we didn't start. In this PPT number 5, in the last page of here, I have a link where you will get all the Linux commands also. So basics, we are going to learn. If you are interested to learn more Linux command, I already have a document where you will find all the Linux commands from A to Z. You can learn by using this link. Basics, we are going to learn. So that's we are going to start in tomorrow session. Now you can see here, I got a notification deleted. I can close the browser. I can verify also. See, I don't have anything. So now I can delete. I can close the browser. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you for joining today's session. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Thank you.